Warhammer 40,000 was cooler when the Shokk Attack Gun was madness. The Shokk Attack Gun still exists. It's around the 10th edition. It's a good gun. It's got a good strength. It's got a good AP. It's got a good range. Fire a decent number of shots. It's fine. It's a good gun. It's fine. But in the Orc Codex from 2008, the Shokk Attack Gun wasn't just a gun. It was an event. Something was going to happen. And if you were a wily Orc player, if you were a good Orc player, you wouldn't fire it at the beginning of the shooting phase. You'd wait until the end. You'd let that suspense hang in the air. Because, you know, maybe it just fired some shots, or maybe something happened. Something big. The Shokk Attack Gun had a 60-inch range. It had an AP of 2, which for that edition was fantastic. It fired the large blast template. That was the 5-inch template, and it would leave big holes in the enemy army if it did well. The thing that made it so unique, though, is that every time it was time to fire it, you rolled 2 dice to determine the weapon's strength. So if you rolled a 1 and a 2, it was strength 3, but if you rolled a 5 and a 3, it was strength 8. But if you rolled any doubles, or an 11, you had to consult the Shokk Attack table and find out what happened. So if you're the Orc player, the worst thing that can happen when you fire the Shokk Attack Gun, you roll Snake Eyes. You roll Snake Eyes and boom, the mech that fired the weapon and every model within D6 of him is removed from play. The Shokk Attack Gun has gone terribly wrong and left a big hole in your own army. If you rolled double 2s, your opponent got to decide which unit on the field the attack would be resolved against. If you rolled double 3s, the attack would be resolved against the closest unit to the unit you targeted. If you rolled double 4s, you used the small blast template on the unit that you were firing at, and it was resolved at strength and AP 6. If you rolled double 5s, the mech makes a terrible mistake and he fires himself out the gun, and you move him across the field and place him in base contact with whoever he was shooting at. He is now in close combat. If you roll an 11, the only person that gets hit is the person who is, or the only model that gets hit is the model that's directly under the hole in the template, but that attack goes off at strength 10. And finally, if you roll boxcars, a tunnel opens a hole into the warp itself, and a ravaging cloud of sentient demonic ichor gushes out into the material realm. Any model hit by the gun this turn is removed from play. Vehicles take an automatic penetrating hit. So, it's time to shoot the Shokk Attack Gun. You take your 2 dice, you roll your 2 dice, and maybe you kill your own man. Maybe you remove your enemy from play. You never know what's going to happen. The Shokk Attack Gun wasn't just a gun. It was an event. It was an event that happened every single turn, and in these editions, games could go to 7 turns. It was pure Orky madness. It was super fun. It was way cooler. Wow.